Let's ask God to help us before we begin Lamentations 3 here. Dear Lord in heaven, just want to thank you that you are always on our side when we call you. And we have a direct connection besides our cellular phones that we use every day. We can just close our eyes or we can talk to you with our eyes open. And you're always there to hear us. Depending on what we need for the day, we just simply ask you, Lord, and you'll give it to us. If it's your will, that is. We don't always get what we ask for, but if it's your will, it'll be done. But I just pray, Lord, that when we ask of things, it's always your will that these our requests be made and be your will. So when I read Lamentations 3 today, Lord, just be with me and be with my church, Calvary Chapel, wherever they're at, all the members, the pastors, the teachers, and the preachers, the reachers, the ushers, the list goes on. All of us. Thank you in your mighty name, majestically, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, born in Bethlehem. Amen. Here we go, guys. Lamentations, chapter 3. I'm the man who has seen trouble coming from the lash of God's anger. He took me by the hand and walked me into pitch black darkness. Wow. Yes, he's given me the back of his hand over and over again. He turned me into a scarecrow of skin and bones, then broke the bones. He hemmed me up and ganged up on me, poured out on trouble and hard times. He locked me in a deep darkness like a corpse nailed inside a coffin. He shuts me in so I'll never get out. Manacles my hands, shackles my feet. Oh, it doesn't sound very pleasant there. We're reading the Message. I never really used the Message. I got a bunch of Bibles laying around I never used, so I decided to use some of these. Once you stick to the NIV and the King James. But we're going to start using more of these newer translations. Even when I cried out and plead for help, he locks up my prayers and throws away the key. He sets up blockades with quarried limestone. He's got me cornered. He's a growling bear tracking me down. A lion in hiding, ready to pounce. Wow. Whoa. He knocked me from the path and ripped me to pieces. Then he finished. There was nothing left of me. He took out his bow and arrows and used me for target practice. He shot me in the stomach with arrows from his quiver. Everyone took me for a joke, made me the butt of their mocking ballads. He forced rotten, stinking food down my throat, bloated me with vile drinks. He grounded my face into the gravel. He pounded me into the mud. I gave up on life altogether. I've forgotten what the good life is like. It sounds like you're reading out of Job here. Remember Job? The book of Job? These things were happening to Job. But we're actually reading Lamentations 3. You know how Job was like attacked for nothing? I mean, Satan attacked Job, right? He attacked Job as a guinea pig. He said, Satan asked God, can I bet you the only reason why Job loves you and cares about you is because you give him everything you want. I bet you, God, if you just go ahead and take everything from him, he's not even going to care about you no more. And then God's like, all right, Satan, let's see if you're right. Let's see if you are right about this. I'm gonna allow you to attack Job, but you can't harm him. You can't touch a single hair on his head. So what did Satan do? Satan pretty much killed everybody around Job. Killed all his family members, killed all his best friends, took one of his daughters. You know, and Job was left alive to see all this. And Job was asking God, why me out of all people? I've never done nothing to deserve this. Why me? Why me? And God's like, Job, you don't understand. Just trust me, all right? Just believe in me and you'll be okay. It seems like all of us are in a sense guinea pigs, right? We don't have a choice to opt out of these things. We're like, this is like really forced upon us here in a sense. But that was Job. Job came on top, even though he lost everybody around him, which is a sad story. I cannot help to get mad. I never mad at God, but when I read the book of Job, I don't know. I kind of do get mad at God. I honestly do have a little frustration with God. Like, he allowed Satan to attack Job. You know, like, really, wow. You know, if anything, you know who deserves to be attacked? David in the Bible. But David was never attacked like Job, was he? You know, you know that's not fair. I guess they say life's not fair. It's not. It's not fair at all. We're dealt with the cards we have here. So let's go on. Moving on here. I said to myself, this is it. I'm finished. God is lost as a lost cause. It's a good thing to hope for help from God. I'll never forget the trouble, the utter lostness, the taste of ashes, the poison I've swallowed. I remember it all. Oh, how well I remember. The feeling of hitting the bottom. But there's one other thing I remember. I keep a grip on hope. God's loyal love couldn't have run out. His merciful love couldn't have dried up. They're created new every morning. How great your faithfulness. I'm sticking with God. I say over and over, He's all I've got left. God proves to be good to the man who passionately waits, to the woman who diligently seeks. It's a good thing to quietly hope for help from God. It's a good thing. When you're young, to stick it out through the hard times. When life is heavy and hard to take, go off by yourself, enter the silence. Bow in prayer. Don't ask questions. Wait for hope to appear. Don't run from trouble. Take it full face. The worst is never the worst. Why? Because the master will never walk out, and fail to return. If he works severely, he also works tenderly. He stocks piles of loyal love are immense. He takes no pleasure in making life hard and throwing away roadblocks in the way, stomping hard on luckless prisoners, refusing justice to victims in the court of high God, tampering with evidence. The master does not approve of such things. God speaks both good things and hard things into being. Who do you think spoke and it happened? It's the master who gives such orders. Doesn't the high God speak everything, good things and hard things alike, into being? And why would anyone gifted with life complain when punished for sin? Let's take a good look at the way we're living and reorder our lives under God. Let's lift our hearts and hands at one and the same time, praying to God in heaven. We've been contrary and willful, and you haven't forgiven. You lost your temper with us, holding nothing back. You chased us and cut us down without mercy. You wrapped yourself up in thicket blankets of clouds, so no prayers can get through. You treated us like a dishwasher, threw us out in the backyard of the nations. Our enemies shout abuse, their mouths full of derision, spitting invective. Sounds like poison, kind of like snakes. We've been to hell and back. We've nowhere to go, nowhere to turn, nowhere to go, nowhere to turn. Rivers of tears pour from my eyes, smash up my dear people. The tears stream from my eyes as an artesian well of tears. Until you, God, look down from on high, look and see my tears. When I see what's happened to the young woman in the city, the pain breaks in my heart. Enemies with no reason to be enemies hunted me down like a bird. They threw me into a pit and pelted me with stones. Then the rains came, filled the pit. The water rose over my head. I said, it's all over. I called out your name, O God, called from the bottom of the pit. You listened when I called out. Don't shut your ears. Get me out of here. Save me. It looks like you fell down into the well. That is terrifying, to say the least. Can you imagine a small well and you just... It's like a cistern. I don't know if you've ever seen a well in real life. I've seen one. I had a friend of mine who was his mother's, his parents' farm. They had a well. I was probably like, how old was I? Probably 16, 17 if I can remember. I remember looking down on that well. It was deep. And I was like, I can't look down anymore. I'm not really... I actually am scared of heights. I don't like heights. You know, some people are scared of spiders, arachnophobic, but I'm not scared of spiders. Heights, I don't do heights very well. But, you know, God's able, though. Whoever this guy is, it doesn't really say.